Hello, welcome back to Gordon's channel, and we've come to lesson 5 of our to-do list app series. And in this lesson, we are going to implement the filter by category. So if we go back to our previous lesson, we have implemented some to-do list app with the category input also. So we can choose the to-do list and then the category to input into our new entry. And now we want to implement the filter. First of all, we will use an element called select. So let's go to our HTML page and add an option here. And I will like to add here into this cell. So I will add here. In VS Code, you can use the tab to use the hint. So now we have the select. We can ignore the name attribute because it is for form submission, and we can add an ID to it. So this one is category filter. And now we will go to, now we don't have any options here. So let's add two options. Take for example, personal, and a second option. Take for example, work. Now, after saving it, we should be able to see some options here. Yeah, it is not showing because this value is in the option attribute. So if we want it to be displayed, we need to put it into the HTML part, the inner text between the tag name. Now we can see that this select filter has two options, personal and work. And now let's go to our JavaScript and let's go to get the element first. So now we will have a select element. And this select element will be, okay, we don't need this another list now. So this select element will be document dot get element by ID, and the ID is, let's use copy and paste because it is a safer way. Copy and then Control E, paste. Now after getting the element, we can go to add the event listener. So for the select element, our event listener is change event, and this one will be filter entries. Let's give our function a name of filter entries. So we will go to define this filter entries function. So let's define it here. Yes, let's define it inside our to-do main. Okay, let's console log and see if we are getting this successfully. Filter entries running. So we will use the inspect, right click inspect to open the console. And let's try something. For example, we have some element here, and then we can try to change the select options, and we can see that we can log in the console filter entries running. So this is how to use the select elements. And here I would like to explain a little bit between the select element and the data list element, which we have used last time. So they both allow us to choose from a predefined choices. But for the select element, it will restrict to the select options. And for the data list element, it will still allow us to enter some new values. So this is the key difference between select element and the data list element. And now, after successfully logging it, we will go to try to get the elements. So we will look over our entries, and we use this style.display to toggle the display. So let's try. We don't need this console log anymore. And now we will need to get all the TR elements. Rows equals to documents dot get elements. For example, by tag name, all the TR, which is all the rows. And now after getting all the rows, we will try to look for the third TD. So let's begin with using a simple for loop equals to 0. And then I will I smaller than rows dot length, and then I plus plus. Let's console log the current rows element and see how it works first. Now if we have entered something, for example, this one, and then S2, enter. And now go to the console. If we have changed this filter option, we will see that it has logged all the TR. So the first one is this title one, the second one is the test one, the third one is the test two. So this is how it loop over our elements. And obviously we don't need to check the first row, so we can start from 1 instead. Okay, so now we will, instead of logging it, we'll try to get the third TD, and we can get it in this way. So let a TD, let the category be equals to the third element inside this row. So rows I dot get element by tag name, and by getting all the TD, we need to use double quote to quote it. Now we are getting all the TD in this row, and now we need to get the third TD. So 0, 1, 2. So we will use the index 2, and then the inner text is our category. So this is how to get the category. So I will, instead of document.get element by tag name, we will rows I dot get elements by tag name, and the tag is TD, and there are 4 TD inside each row. So I will get the third TD. So the index is 2, and the inner text of the third TD. So this is the category, and we use if else to toggle it. So if the category is equals to, now we want to get the value of our select option. So the select element is select element, and this variable is in the to do main scope. So we can use select element dot value. Comparison is 2 equal sign and select value dot value. If the category inside this row is the same as our select options, then this element, this row, should have a display of no change. So we use nothing here, empty string here. But if they are not the same in the else one, then this element dot style.display should be none. When the style.display is set to none, it means that this one will be hidden, this row. So let's try it. So now if we have, say, prepare presentation, and it belongs to work, and after adding it, and let's add another one, say buy some onion, and the category is personal. So now filter it. If we choose work, only the work one will be displayed. And if we go to the console to check it. So we can see in the table, we have a row with style.display none, because for the one with personal category, we have set style.display none to it. And here, if we change the select options to personal, then we can see that for the row, we have undo the style.display. But for the row with the work category, we have add style.display none to the row. So this is how to use style.display to toggle between the display. So this is style.display. And now for the last part of this lesson, I want to introduce the ForEach method, because ForEach is simpler to use than the for loop. So let's get started. Instead of using this one, now let's use for loop on it. Rows.forEach. Now if we do it in this way, we will have an error. So let's try it. And we can see what the error message is. Okay, let's try to use the change it first. You see, there is an uncaught type error. Rows.forEach is not a function. And the reason is that ForEach is actually Array.prototype.forEach method. So you must use it on an array. But what is the result of get elements by tag name? If you remember, in our previous lessons, we have discussed about it. So let's try to console log it. So if we have used it, it is actually an HTML collection. So it is HTML collection. And that's why we cannot use the ForEach method on HTML collection. But now I want to introduce you to the Array.from method. So this one is an array method. So we can use it in this way. Array.from rows. Now this will convert rows from HTML collection to an array. And now we can use ForEach on the array. So this is how to use ForEach on HTML collection by using Array.from. And now for the ForEach method, we can actually, it has hint us we need a callback function. And then for the callback function, we can have the element and then the index and the array itself. And then it returns something. So we will need a callback function. And here we will use the ES6 arrow functions. So the parameters onto the function body. So here for the parameters, we have the element itself, which is the row, and we have the index, and we have the array itself. Okay. So here, what we will need to do is actually the same as this one. So first of all, we need to get the category value, which is the third TD inside this element. But now we don't need to use rows square bracket I. Instead, we just use row, because row is already the element inside this iteration. And now this part is actually the same. So let's move it up and unblock it. So Control /. Now this should do what we want to do. So let's try it. So if we have input something, say I add. Okay, we don't have by, but anyway. So if we have presentation, design work, and then by wood, personal. Okay, suppose I have work and personal, and now if I click on it, it still has an uncaught reference error. I is not defined, because here I have just copied it carelessly. So here, instead of using rows square bracket I, we now only need to use row. So we need to remove this one. You see, now the problem should be solved. And now, if you notice, this color has changed from deeper blue to very bright blue, and this two is still deep color because this two is not used. So we can actually remove these two parameter if we are not using it. So now it should work now. So let's try. If I have a buy, which is personal, and if we have document, which is work. Now, if we toggle it with the filter options, all right. Now you see that actually we have hidden our caption too, because with this way we are looping over even the caption. So now we don't have the filter options to switch it off back. So we must go back to here to do something with it. We can use it in this way. So if we can add back the index first, and add if the index is 0, which means the first one, then we will return. So we will not do anything in this iteration. So let's try it. If we have buy, which is personal, and if we have document, which is work. So now if I click on work, it will filter the work. And if I click on personal, it will filter the personal. And now it won't hidden the caption for us because we have add this here. If the index is 0, the second parameter is index. If the index is 0, we just return. So we escape from this iteration, the callback running. So this is how to do it with the for each loop. And now actually you can see that we don't have a way to go back to showing all the entries. So that definitely is not what we want to achieve. So we need to add one more options actually, which is a blank option. All right. So now we have a blank option and two more options. So if we click on the blank option, we want to show all the entries. So let's go to here, and we need to use one more if else. Now we need to get the select element.value first. Selection. Let's call it selection equals to select element.value, and if selection is empty string, then we will do something, and else we will do what we have done in the previous part. Move it here. And now if the indentation is wrong, we use Shift alternate F to format it automatically. So now we want to add here. If the select option is empty string, then we will loop over all the rows and set all of them as, okay, let's get this. Copy this. Loop over all the rows, and now we don't check whether the rows, the category is the same as anything. We just set them as display. So we just set them as display. So this is how to do it. So let's try it. So if I have say buy, which is personal, and if I have document, which is work, okay, we can filter it, and if we click on the blank one, we can show all the options again. So this is we can show, if we click on the blank one, we can show all the entries again. So this is how to do the filter by category. But this is only the basic part, because if we have enter some new category, for example, housework. For example, I want to say clean the floor, which is a housework. But now you can see that we don't have a category housework. So we will try to solve this problem in our next lesson. So I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Thank you. Bye bye.